What happens when night falls in Monaco, where every light, every engine roar, and every elegant step belongs to a world only the ultra-wealthy can truly enter? In the next few moments, you're about to witness a Monaco you've never seen before. Not the postcard version, not the staged moments on social media, but the real pulse of luxury. A world where billionaire ladies glide through the city in supercars that shine like moving diamonds. Here, beauty isn't just admiration, it's power. Every detail, from a subtle smile to a couture dress shimmering under streetlights, speaks a silent language understood only by those who belong to Monaco's elite circles. And when the deep growl of a V12 engine echoes through La Voto, it marks the beginning of a night where anything can happen. Because Monaco After Dark is not just nightlife, it's a private stage filled with hidden encounters, unspoken rules, and moments that never reach the public eye. Before we step deeper into this exclusive world, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Inside the Billionaires, so you never miss a journey into the lifestyles of the world's most powerful. And stay with me until the end, because the truth about tonight begins with one unexpected moment. They say Monaco glitters because of its wealth, but ask anyone who truly understands this city and they'll tell you something different. Monaco shines because of the women who know how to command it. And the first secret of that command lies in something almost no outsider ever hears about: the Billionaire Ladies Code. At first glance, their presence seems effortless. Graceful steps, calm expressions, perfect timing. But none of it is accidental. Each appearance is crafted with the same precision a luxury brand uses for its finest collection. The code begins long before they step out of a supercar. It starts with how they choose the moment to arrive. Not too early, never too late. Their entrance must feel natural yet unmistakable, as if the night itself rearranges around them. Then comes the posture. The subtle tilt of the chin, the poised shoulders, the controlled pace. These aren't just gestures, they're signals. In Monaco, these cues speak louder than conversations, quietly establishing who leads the room long before introductions happen. Even their fashion choices follow an unwritten structure. Colors are selected not just to impress, but to communicate mood, hierarchy, and intention. A soft pastel might mean approachability, a striking metallic might hint at influence. Nothing is random, not even the way a handbag is carried or a bracelet catches the light. What truly separates these women from the rest of the world is their understanding that elegance is a strategy. They know that being seen is one thing, being remembered is another. And once they step into the nightlife of Monte Carlo, this code becomes their invisible armor, shaping how people interact with them, how opportunities open, and how power silently shifts from one moment to the next. But here's the part almost no one talks about. The code isn't just about appearance, it also determines when they choose not to appear. And on some nights, their absence speaks louder than their presence, leaving Monaco wondering what might be unfolding behind closed doors. And why. If you think Monaco's supercar culture is dominated by men, wait until you witness the real power players. The billionaire ladies who turn every street into their personal runway of speed and elegance. Their relationship with supercars isn't for show. It's a statement, a lifestyle, and sometimes a silent competition only they understand. What sets these women apart is the deliberate way they choose their machines. For some, a Ferrari SF90 isn't just a car, it's an extension of their personality. For others, a Lamborghini Revuelto signals boldness before they even step out. And then there are those who favor a McLaren Speedtail or Pagani Huayra, cars so rare that their presence alone reshapes the energy of Casino Square. But the real story begins long before the engine starts. Each woman curates her arrival like a scene from a cinematic masterpiece. The sound of a V12 or V8 roaring to life is the opening note. The slow glide through the streets of Monte Carlo is the melody, and the moment the door lifts or swings open is the crescendo that turns every head. Even the route they choose through the city matters. Some prefer the long path along La Voto Beach, where reflections of neon lights dance on the polished carbon fiber. Others take the uphill road toward the Prince's Palace, knowing the quiet streets amplify the sound of power. And there are those who drive straight into the heart of Casino Square, where cameras are always ready, but they appear calm, unaffected, as if the attention belongs to them by default. Yet, beneath all this elegance lies a fascinating dynamic, a subtle race. No one calls it a competition, but each arrival, each engine note, each perfectly timed stop sends a message. It's not about who has the most expensive car, it's about who can make Monaco pause for 3 seconds and wonder, who is she? And sometimes, just when you think you know the hierarchy of the night, a new car appears, one so unexpected, so rare, that it changes everything about the unspoken order of Monaco's elite. There is no place on earth where luxury gathers as effortlessly as it does in front of the Monte Carlo casino. By day, it is a landmark. By night, it becomes something far more powerful. The most expensive outdoor runway in the world, where billionaire ladies redefine what it means to make an entrance. What makes Casino Square so extraordinary isn't just the supercars lined up like jewels on display, it's the energy, the choreography, the silent awareness shared by those who belong to Monaco's elite. The moment a billionaire lady steps out of her car here, it's not simply an arrival, it's a declaration. Every detail is magnified under the glow of golden lights. The sound of heels gently touching the stone pavement, the swish of a couture gown catching the Mediterranean breeze, the shimmer of fine jewelry that seems designed for this exact location. Everything becomes part of a carefully orchestrated moment. Even the security guards, drivers, and photographers instinctively recognize when someone important is stepping into the square. But what most people don't realize is that Casino Square operates on its own rhythm. Appear too early and you miss the audience. Arrive too late and the magic shifts to another part of the city. The billionaire ladies know exactly when to enter, when the crowd is warm, when the cameras are ready, when the lights reflect perfectly off their car's paint. This place also reveals more than it hides. Who stands with whom, which car parks next to which, who confidently walks alone and who arrives with a quiet entourage, every choice reveals a hidden hierarchy. A single glance exchanged between two women can communicate alliances, rivalries, or unspoken stories no one else will ever hear. And yet, the most intriguing moments aren't always the most glamorous. Sometimes it's the sudden hush that falls over the square when a face appears that no one expected, or the way a single arrival can shift the entire mood of the night. Because in Monaco, one unexpected appearance at Casino Square can rewrite the entire narrative of the evening, and everyone senses it. There's a side of Monaco's nightlife that tourists will never see. Clubs, lounges, and sky bars that seem ordinary from the outside, yet only come alive when certain women arrive. These aren't places you find on travel guides. They're rooms that light up only when Monaco's billionaire ladies decide the night is worth their presence. Every city has exclusive venues, but Monaco's operate on a different level. Some clubs don't announce opening hours. Instead, they wait for a signal. A quiet message, a familiar car pulling up, or the appearance of a woman whose presence alone sets the tone. When she steps out, doors open, lights rise, and the atmosphere transforms as if the entire venue had been holding its breath. Inside these hidden nightlife spots, everything is curated to perfection. The music isn't loud, it's intentional, deep, smooth, and designed to blend with conversations that matter. Tables are arranged not for convenience, but for influence. Who sits where, who stands near the balcony, who is given the private corner with the best view of the harbor. These details might seem minor, but in Monaco, they reveal who truly shapes the night. What surprises most outsiders is how calm the atmosphere often is. There's no chaos, no crowded dance floor. Instead, it's a soft glow of warm lights, the clink of crystal glasses, and the unmistakable presence of women who know exactly how the night should unfold. They don't need attention. The room naturally gravitates toward them. And here's the most intriguing part. Some venues remain closed unless one specific woman arrives. She might not be the wealthiest or the most famous, but her influence is enough to shift the city's energy. When she chooses to stay in, the nightlife stays quiet. When she chooses to appear, Monaco becomes electric. Because in this city, a single arrival can elevate an ordinary night into something unforgettable. And those who witness it understand that something meaningful is about to unfold. In Monaco, beauty is more than appearance. It's a form of influence, a quiet force that shapes decisions, opens doors, and redirects the flow of opportunity. The billionaire ladies of Monaco understand this better than anyone. Their beauty isn't loud or exaggerated, it's refined, strategic, and woven into the very fabric of how they move through the city. What separates these women from the rest of the world is their mastery of power presence, the ability to shift a room without raising their voice. A graceful entrance, a confident posture, a well-timed smile. These gestures carry weight in Monaco's elite circles. They signal confidence, intelligence, and most importantly, control. But beauty here goes beyond physical charm. It's intertwined with status, resources, and connections built over years. Many of these women sit on boards, manage private portfolios, or represent investment groups across Europe and the Middle East. Their influence stretches from luxury real estate to art deals, from charity galas to private equity dinners. Behind every elegant moment is a network that most people never see. And this network is always active, even in nightlife settings. A short conversation on a terrace overlooking Port Hercule might quietly shift the direction of a major investment. A shared glance during a dinner can reaffirm alliances or signal the beginning of a new partnership. The women who understand this rhythm hold a unique power. They control the flow of attention, opportunity, and information. Yet, what fascinates observers the most is how subtle everything appears. Nothing seems forced, nothing feels staged. Their influence is wrapped in effortless elegance, which is exactly why it's so effective. They turn beauty into strategy and strategy into presence. Still, there's a deeper layer few ever realize. Sometimes the most influential woman in the room is the one who speaks the least. She observes, she listens, and she chooses her moments with exquisite precision, leaving people wondering how one quiet gesture can change the tone of an entire evening. And on certain nights, that quiet moment becomes the spark that shifts Monaco's hidden hierarchy in ways no one expects. Monaco's most interesting conversations don't happen on stages or inside conference rooms. They unfold in places you'd never expect. A quiet corner of a rooftop lounge, a private table on a yacht drifting just off Port Hercule, a shadowed booth in a members-only wine bar, and at the center of these discreet gatherings, Monaco's billionaire ladies navigating a world where every interaction carries meaning. What makes these meetings so fascinating is how effortlessly they blend into the city's nightlife. To an outsider, it might look like a simple gathering of friends enjoying a beautiful evening, but to those who understand Monaco, the details reveal everything. The choice of venue, the seating arrangement, the timing, and even the expressions exchanged across the table. Here, conversations rarely begin with business. They start with gentle compliments, shared memories, or discussions about upcoming galas. But gradually, beneath the surface, something more significant unfolds. Investments are hinted at, partnerships are tested, introductions are made. Decisions take shape long before any paperwork exists. And the women guiding these moments do so with remarkable finesse. They know when to speak and when silence is more powerful. They understand how to create comfort, how to reveal just enough, and how to sense the exact moment when the conversation is ready to shift towards something meaningful. Some of these meetings last only a few minutes, a quiet exchange on the balcony of a private club. Others stretch late into the night aboard a yacht, where the hum of the water masks discussions no one else should overhear. The setting may change, but the purpose remains the same, shaping the alliances and opportunities that define Monaco's elite circles. The most intriguing part is how invisible these meetings seem. No photos, no announcements, no line on the social calendar. Yet they often influence the direction of an entire season, sometimes even the balance of power among the city's wealthiest families. And every so often, someone entirely unexpected joins the conversation, shifting its direction, its purpose, and the night itself in ways no one saw coming. In a place as small and as powerful as Monaco, rivalry doesn't look like what you see in movies. There are no arguments, no dramatic confrontations, no raised voices. Instead, the competition among billionaire ladies unfolds in silence, woven into gestures so subtle that only those who understand the city's rhythm can recognize them. It begins with the simplest of details: timing. Arrive at the right moment and the night bends around you. arrive moments later, and the spotlight quietly shifts. The women of Monaco know this well. Their entrances aren't just about presence, they're about positioning. Then comes the placement of their supercars. A luxury car parked directly in front of the casino, a private driver opening the door at just the right angle, a rare model gliding to a perfect stop. All of these are quiet chess moves. They aren't meant to outshine others, but to remind the city who still holds influence. Even the way they interact carries layers of meaning. A brief nod across the square, a short pause before greeting someone, a decision to stand instead of sit. These micro-gestures create an unspoken dialogue, one that can either signal mutual respect, gentle competition, or a shift in the hierarchy. But perhaps the most fascinating element is how the rivalry extends into the nightlife. Which table a woman is given at a private lounge, whether she is placed near the balcony with the harbor view or escorted to the quiet VIP corner, who chooses to join her and who deliberately does not. None of these decisions are random. They reflect alliances, impressions, and sometimes strategic distancing. The women understand that, in Monaco, appearances whisper louder than words. And every so often, a surprising move changes everything. A new alliance forms. A former friend arrives alone. A woman who never competes suddenly steps into the spotlight. When these shifts happen, the entire atmosphere of the night tilts, softly, quietly, but unmistakably, leaving everyone wondering how one silent gesture could alter the social balance of Monaco's elite. And yet, the most revealing moment of rivalry is still to come. And it happens after the nightlife ends. Most people think Monaco's magic fades when the clubs close and the music quiets. But for those who know the city's true heartbeat, the opposite is true. When the nightlife ends for the world, it quietly begins for Monaco's elite women. The crowds disappear, the cameras shut off, and the city transforms into something far more intimate and far more revealing. This is the hour when billionaire ladies move differently, without the audience, without the noise, without the curated staging of Casino Square. Their drivers take hidden routes behind the Rocher Cliffs, down private roads near La Voto, or along the quiet edges of Port Hercule where streetlights reflect softly on the water. It's in these moments that Monaco feels smaller, yet somehow more powerful, as if the entire city belongs solely to them. The conversations also change. What was once layered with elegance and etiquette becomes quieter, simpler, more strategic. A brief stop outside a private residence might signal the continuation of a discussion that started hours earlier. A late-night meeting on a balcony overlooking the harbor might finalize a decision that will ripple through Monaco's social or financial circles. And despite the calm, these after-midnight hours reveal more about influence than any nightclub ever could. Who travels home alone and who leaves with someone trusted? Whose supercar stays parked longer than expected? Who takes the scenic route and who moves swiftly into the shadows? Each choice carries meaning in a city where privacy is as valuable as wealth itself. What fascinates observers, those few who manage to glimpse these late-night moments, is how gracefully these women command Monaco even in silence. Without witnesses, without attention, they still move with intention, as though the city itself listens to their footsteps. But the most intriguing part of all is this. Sometimes, just before sunrise, a single unexpected encounter on an otherwise empty street can shift the direction of an entire season, changing alliances, relationships, and even the subtle hierarchy among Monaco's elite. And that unexplained moment, hidden from the world, is often where the next story truly begins. As the first light touches the coastline of Monaco, the city slowly returns to the version the world thinks it knows. Calm, polished, impossibly beautiful. But after everything we've seen tonight, you now understand a deeper truth. Monaco isn't defined by its landmarks or its luxury. It's defined by the women who move through it with quiet power, flawless elegance, and an understanding of influence that few places on Earth can match. From their choreographed arrivals in supercars, to the subtle rivalries hidden within a single glance, to the private conversations that shape the alliances of tomorrow, every moment reveals another layer of this extraordinary world. And for a brief time, we stepped inside it together. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of Monaco's luxury nightlife, don't forget to like the video, comment your favorite moment, and subscribe to Inside the Billionaires. Your support helps open more doors into places most people never even know exist. Because the next story is already forming somewhere along the Riviera. Another night, another arrival, another mystery waiting just beyond the glow of the streetlights. And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.